So we're highlighting the aspect of knowing. The scripture doesn't talk about the gift of knowing. We talk about the gift of prophecy, gift of word of knowledge. The gift of knowing is something that I think is to be developed, although, as you're saying, Timothy, as a child, it probably is natural for many, if not most. And then we begin to put our brain into gear. We learn to activate and develop our brain to where it takes precedence. But this thing of knowing probably is more visceral. It's more on the spirit level than and more important, more primary, of primary importance than even the ability to get actual words of knowledge and that kind of thing. So here's my personal attempt to define and distinguish between my brain, a prophetic impression, and a knowing. Now, my brain has trails of connectivity between one thought to the next. One thought leads to the next, to the next, to the next. That's kind of the MO of my brain. I didn't get somewhere without something leading me to that place. Okay? Prophetic impressions for me, and I'm sure they're different for everybody. Some people read ticker tapes and some people see pictures and whatever. But for me, my brain is kind of doing its thing, and there's a thought that drops down like this over my conscious awareness, not necessarily my sight. It's not with my eyes, it's over my conscious awareness. It's a thought that doesn't have any connectivity to anything else. Right. So I recognize that one as being a prophetic thought. At least that's my way of working out my salvation, my way of walking with the Lord. Not my way to get to heaven. Don't anybody misinterpret what I said there. It's just I'm saved, and so now I have to work out what does that mean. So prophetic thought is a new thought that has no connectivity to any other thoughts. That kind of thought has more weight, more empowerment in it for my faith to believe that it's a God thought. Now, my knowing is something that kind of just by osmosis comes out of the fog, kind of almost out of the back of my mind, but it's not my mind because now I'm down in my spirit man, but it comes out of the fog, so to speak. And fog's probably a bad word to use, but it comes out of the unknowing into the knowing almost so gently that I didn't even recognize that it was coming into my awareness. It just kind of began to take shape so gradually and so undefinable, but all of a sudden it was there. And so to me, those are my kind of three different ways of perceiving. One is mental, one is kind of what I call my prophetic impressions, and the other is my knowing impression. And so you may have your own ways, but for whatever it's worth, that may be something to get started with in your world or in your way of assessing.